Fancy seeing you here. Welcome back for Game 2, where FlyQuest will be facing off against Evil Geniuses. It is time to turn to the starting rosters right now. Selecting on the blue side, it is FlyQuest Academy. That means in the top lane, it is Revenge. Jungling is Fnatic. Mid lane, Triple. Bot lane is MASH with support, JJ and Coach. Wee-oo.
Well, facing them on the red side, it's Evil Geniuses Academy. You've got Brandini in the top lane and in the jungle. FlyQuest on mid. Bot is definitely his support is Matt and their coach, Tim Kiro.
That is right, and we will see Anda today playing remotely due to some visa issues, but he should still easily be able to communicate with his team.
No cardboard.
That's true. A little bit of a letdown, but it's all right. He will not be in the jungle. We've seen this man on the world stage, so I'm sure he will be able to put up some good stuff here today. EG did go 0-2 in week 1, but that addition of Anda and FlyQuest has seemed to turn them around there for a 2-0 week.
Yeah, it was a rough start when you didn't have your main players, and then you had to find Anda as your substitute or new starting jungler, but he has been great. And frankly, as a jungler, I think that he's a jungler that should have been in the academy in the first place. So seeing him have another shot here is really exciting. And he should actually come into this team even more motivated, because you did go through the time where nobody gave you a shot. And then you just got one a little bit into the season, so you got that fear, like, oh, crap, I'm not going to have a year playing. Nope, turns out EGA needs you.
Yeah, you're like, by the way, it was good. And here's FlyQuest stats as well from week 2. Doing pretty good, 65% KP, so you're seeing him get into that action. And you're always going to be going down as a targeted mid. So 3.8 KDA, still pretty good in there.
Only Zoe. He's only played Zoe so far.
I would definitely be going for Zoe all the time then. On the other side, FlyQuest had a rough week 2. However, going 0-2, they are looking to turn it around against Evil Geniuses today.
Yeah, my eyes are on the junglers for both of these teams. I think that the jungle role right now, as unimpactful as some people might say it is, still is the one role that influences absolutely everything. And so when you have somebody playing a champion like Lee Sin that can deliver early and influence every lane, you're setting up your team for success. And Fnatic is the Lee Sin player, where Anda is more of the Jarvan, more of the aggressive kind of Jarvan. To me, he's a less refined blabber. Needs a little bit more polishing.
So still, it was like aggressive. You mean so aggressive in the early game, but maybe overstepping boundaries too much.
Yes, exactly. Over aggressive, and sometimes over aggressive at bad times. An example of a bad time to be over aggressive?
Hit me.
Looking for a play 30 seconds before the dragon. A play that might get you killed. That's not a very high chance play.
That's a hey, let's blow a summoner play. See if we can
and then you lose your summoner, and then, oh, well, I got to reset. Then you give all the vision and all the ground that you're
like, hey, I blew a summoner. I'm not wrong. We'll see what we have here going into game 2. Olaf and Akali are taking off. I expect to see the Elises, the Rumbles, and the sets here within the first bands, maybe even a Lucian. A Thresh, how dare you, sir?
They're trying to keep Matt from playing playmakers, and I don't blame them. I want to see Matt on constant playmakers and not the Tom Kench that he had last game. I think that when you have players that are longtime veterans that are good at shot calling, you need to give them the agency to have influence over the game. If you're putting them on champions that rely on the younger players to dictate the map, you're not going to have a very consistent record. You need to have the veterans do the leading.
Looks like we're going to get some dives somewhere to start things off. Elise picked up here for Fnatic in the jungle. Is one game on that against Immortals in week 1. Was able to get the victory there. And Misfortune picked up for the side of Evil Geniuses. Will that be a support, or will they decide to get their jungler within the next 2 picks? Nautilus. Seems like people like the Nautilus to protect the MF, but you also have Braum in this situation.
Though. Braum is so good against Misfortune, but then Leona is so good against the Nautilus. So it's up to the flavor that FlyQuest wants to approach this with. Personally, I like the Leona better because she is a tank.
I feel like she just becomes more
as an
unkillable.
Like, her engage is nuts, and she actually has tank stats. So Nautilus does not have tank stats. Braum does from his E, and you're not really counting the increased armor and magic resistance from W.
W, yeah.
Yeah, but Leona has an actual thing that boosts her resistances on the shield by, I think it's up to 50 at the highest rank.
It's scary. She's basically a brick wall when she heads in with that. Aatrox being picked up for revenge on the top side, and we are going to get aggressive. Jungler coming in here. Looks like they're trying to do fish in the barrel. If you can get that Cataclysm down, it definitely can rip out bullet time. You are taking someone down.
We've got a really interesting champion select in that FlyQuest went all out for solos and jungle early, while EG was trying to use red side to get those counter picks and just mask what their solo lanes were going to be. There's not even any flex picks out of them, so the bans will be all bot lane for EG and all solo lanes for FlyQuest. I'm expecting bans in the top lane in particular because I think when you have Aatrox Elise, you want to really camp that lane, and having a tank is a bit of a problem. But when you have Aatrox Syndra, or sorry, Elise Syndra, you're not really punishing a mid laner, and the people that can survive those dives top are the ones taken away. So the Orns, and that's about it. Everybody else is not that tanky.
I wonder what they ban if they ban against Mash again. Ezreal? Pantheon. I like it.
What? So maybe they think that the Syndra could also be flexed into the bottom lane.
We did see Pantheon.
This is not a Pantheon. That's a big risk. FlyQuest has not shown a Syndra bottom. And if they lock Pantheon here, I mean, maybe they've been practicing something in scrims. Pantheon in the bottom lane is a viable combination. Pantheon Talia is something that people were running a long time ago.
I think they somewhat read it with the LeBlanc ban too, because Evil Genius was just kind of saying, well, what does FlyQuest not want to play against at this point in mid, right?
Yeah, the mid's already been taken, right? So it has to be, unless Triple is going to be playing.
Yeah, like you were saying, if it was Flex, we go down that road. Gangplank gets picked up from the side of Evil Geniuses. Kai'Sa was played by Mash out in week 1. Has quite a few picks to go through here as they round out the side of FlyQuest. Do it.
So I actually got to spend some time with some players yesterday and talk to them about draft. What do they think about draft? Why it's so hard? Why so many teams are having a hard time? And I can personally relate to what they're saying. It's so fast, you don't actually have the time to consider all the variables and have everybody give their input, because you have 7 people on stage all sharing a 30-second window. How much can everybody really say?
It's really tough until you've ever tried it. You can explain it like as much as you want. Like even when we do stuff in work and rumbles and whatnot, we'll know exactly what we want going into Champion Select, and we'll get out of Champion Select, and the other team has exactly what they wanted. And we're like, what the hell just happened? How is this that we practice?
Yeah, how'd they get away
You're
with
right.
it?
In the moment, the amount of variables, then the amount of voices makes this such a stressful situation. I thought it was awesome when the coaches were able to be on stage and chat with this, because a lot of times the players would kind of be like, well, hands in the air, I want to play this today, you know?
Right, they say, I'm just feeling it, and at that point, like, what are you supposed to say as a coach? Do you trust your players' innermost instinct, or the practice that you have so diligently focused on?
The game starts before you're on the Rift, Crumbs. It's so much more than people think. We do have our picks and bans locked in for both teams, and we'll see what they have. The Orianna versus Syndra mid. I like this matchup quite a bit. We'll see who gets explosive with those ultimates when we first hit level 6. That bot lane, I think you did grab in the Senna and Tom Kench versus the MF versus the Nautilus. It's probably going to be pretty slow bot lane.
Yeah, the Tom Kench makes for the slowest of bottom lanes. He's just happy to stay alive and maybe find a roam somewhere, but not a lot of action here. It's all about the top lane for me. For FlyQuest, they are going to be really trying to ruin Brandini's day here with the Aatrox Elise. And in the Gangplank matchup, Gangplank is going to be strong early because of that grasp sustain, but that's about it. If Elise gets there and punishes you being aggressive with walking forward and hitting some Qs, Aatrox will hit his spike way sooner than you can deal with.
Not sure.
What sound does that make?
He's just chilling. That's a warm rock. What did we call that earlier?
It was a fox and a deer. A fear.
Yeah, something like
That's
that.
what you said. It was a fear.
And we're onto the rift. Look at this. In position. I like it.
Look at TK ready to throw a lick out.
Maybe. You just throw your tongue over the wall. How much dirt and sand gets on that thing? Oh, boy. Brandini keeping himself very safe. He saw him coming out of the fog of war and was out. He does not want to be any more Ghost than he is Ghost Gangplank right now.
Just
I like the ball placement.
standard wards of a 1. And actually, EG will win that out because they got to drop a ward at the red buff. And FlyQuest does not know where Anda will be starting.
Ooh. I wonder if FlyFire can trick Triple into thinking he has an extra ball on the ground.
You think he can?
The orb, I was just kidding.
It's
The orb
confusing.
looks interesting.
It looks like Thresh's lantern as well. Oh,
Oh. All right, so it looks like they're going to start over at blue.
the black hole following him around.
Look out, Anda. Fnatic's going to start over at red and double. He's going buff to buff. I don't know why I said double. He's going buffs to do a 2-buff start.
Should be
Yeah.
blue Gromp into top lane. So what's important here for FlyQuest will be how Revenge manages this wave, because you want it to just be pushing. This is actually perfect here. If he can get Brandini to not shove and just keep the wave right here, by the time that Elise hits 3, you're gonna get a gank. And it's gonna be even better if he can keep Gangplank distracted enough so that he doesn't go into the river.
This is huge. Yeah, Revenge is leaving all the casters up as much as he can, so they hard push the wave. Look at it, you have 5 on the back line right now. So this is obviously going to push to Revenge. Brandini now has, oh, he might just get a quick back at this point once the cannon wave comes up.
Look at Elise. He's not going to be able to push. This is it. Let's see if Jarvan tries to go for a counter gank, and there's no mana or level 3 on Brandini. This could be disaster. Just
He was
hits it.
a few minutes short of having that go into turret, but he called Anda off also from his 2 buff. Did Gromp into the other one, so he does have level 3 as well. Repel goes up, and the minion wave is in position for Fnatic to get out, but Call and Red as well. Brandini said, I'm going to push. I need you, Anda. And Revenge planned for that wave to push as well.
We were just talking about
like it.
seconds mattering so much in League of Legends. If Elise was there a few seconds before, or with Anda, I think we would have had just a very different opening gank to this game. Now the scuttlers happen, so we should see the junglers be splitting off now. And with the top scuttle, and then Elise should go straight to the bottom one. You have Cryo in mid and bottom right now. And clearly fighting with the Aatrox is not the play. Brandini is doing a good job of utilizing his jungler's presence in the top side to hammer home a lead onto Revenge.
Ping mark's going down towards that top side of the map. This is possibly getting that scuttle, and he has. He's reading it right. This Fnatic will be on the bottom. 25-21. No real lead here on the bot side. No kill coming out of that top side gank we just saw. See, this is the thing I wonder is, both teams had that going to the top side. They had something in mind, but is there something that comes off of that? Once you've both shown top, you have a way to make yourself disappear, you know, and then get back in. Fnatic did.
So when they both show, the first thing that comes to mind is both junglers revealed their jungle routes, because you can see where their buffs are at, and you can see the camps, the creep score that they have. So when you see that and you both show top with such a low creep score, it tells you that the entire other side is also missing. So it swings everybody back to the other side of the map, which is what we just saw with Anda and Fnatic trying to clear the Raptors, clear the Wolves, and then make sure that their other lanes are covered. Because Tom Kench and Senna were pushing up, if Jarvan would have snuck down there, it might have blown some summoners.
Bit of a mistime there for Fnatic to gank mid, coming up on the minion wave. Something we should know about. You can always see which side it's pushing in from. It may have been a little muddled with everything slamming into the turret and how to read the way that FlyFire's wave was coming in to cocoon around it. Top lane's going to get a bit of pressure there, but no, definitely no mat. So obviously just jungle clear, and they're going to see what items we have on our first back. Skirmisher Saber for Anda. So he starts building up, and the Sheen for damage for Brandini. Wants to really push that lane.
This is something I noticed in a lot of my solo queue games that I think the viewers might not be familiar with.
Hit me.
Bot lane for EG just base, And you would think, oh, that's a great time to do Dragon, right? The bot lane just space. But when your jungler does not have the Talisman and Machete at the same time, the Dragon damage is not good. It is really, really bad. In fact, I think only like Shyvana and Nunu can even solo it. So waiting for that first jungle item is essential when it comes to taking these dragons early into the game, because otherwise your health and speed will just be shot out.
A little bit of a question mark pain going on to see what side of the jungle that Fnatic might be on. Their guesses are right for EG, but right, that doesn't play anything. They still have to play safe, even if they are right. Teleport back to mid. Lane's getting pushed in, so FlyQuest won't be able to really join anything else. But he may go aggressive. He goes cleanse, actually, to get out of the scatter of the week and make sure Triple does not 1v1 him in that lane.
It's a good idea to go for the spell book.
Unsealed spell.
Yeah, unsealed spell book. Just because these mages, Orianna, the Anivius, they're gonna have different windows where different summoners are pretty much essential to them. You know, had he gone with a cleanse early in the game, yeah, it would have gotten value, but later it just would have been terrible for him. This allows him to be significantly more versatile to what the circumstance demands, to the point where he could even pick up an ignite here and there and then go start bursting people around. There's a lot of tools open to a pick like Orianna that is such a safe laner.
Blue buff transfer over as Fnatic looks like he's gonna go ahead and pick up his own red. Top lane getting pushed in. I wonder how much there is for Revenge to pick up. He's not too far down in CS. It was about a 12 CS lead, so I thought Brandini had a much bigger handle on the lane, but it seems to be closing down. Level 6s going around the map. Brandini can now throw out that gangplank barrage whenever he needs to help the teammates out across the map here.
Yeah, and they might just have to do that pretty soon, because now that the blue buff has been handed over to FlyQuest and he has the Lost Chapter, he's going to be able to really start pushing this way, pushing the Syndra in, because she doesn't have blue buff. She can't contest as much as Orianna, who's shielding and harassing at the same time. So it frees her up to roam into the jungle with the Jarvan, as they are doing now, and either get a pick or get a dragon.
Ward wars. Little zombie ward coming up as they get themselves to safety and back down to the bot lane. Figured we get a little bit more roaming or interaction coming from the junglers, but they seem to be tracking each other more than they really seem to be getting to the lanes.
They're okay with playing things slowly. There's a lot of tools available to them. With the Gangplank ultimate, I think this could have been an opportunity for FlyQuest and Anda to really strong arm a fight, and instead it will be a dragon that they're strong arming because they haven't bothered with the vision.
Dragon. It's going to be Ocean going over the side of EG. Mash a little bit low on mana there as they start the back end lane. Looks like he's actually saving the biscuits. Is he going for a triple sell? Because he didn't drink any in lane there, or eat any for the mana. They go back. He sells 3 biscuits. You're still going to get the mana you would get out of eating those, and he's going to be able to get himself a mana immune finish. So nicely done there. Just kind of saving what could be a little bit of cash in your pocket. Triple, keeping himself safe. They try to just deter EG from this roam after going down to Dragon. Knowing there was no bot, EG says, let's get more control of the map. They almost did.
Triple was so close to just pressing R on Matt. Can I get him? Do I actually have the damage? But the second he would have exposed himself, he would have given Matt a chance to press ult and then proc the Aftershock, which would have also minimized the damage that Syndra is dealing. So no chance to take out the Nautilus there. Well played by Triple, not letting his greed get the best of him.
Control, but everything switched now for that 9-minute rift as we start to get towards the top of the map. Rift's going to be low. FlyQuest may try to focus. They're leaving the tanks towards the top side. Fnatic's also going to chase. Revenge is in with 1-2-Q. No ultimate is just done yet as he now activates World Ender. The Sen ultimate comes back across the team for a bit of a shield, and that is going to be Brandini taking down the Rift Herald. You only have about 20 seconds to grab that with the update. Brandini comes around the backside. They are going to be able to get it. There's the kills going onto both sides as First Blood goes over to Mash, but Anda answers back, and they're coming in strong on the side of Evil Geniuses as they tear FlyQuest apart and get the Rift Herald.
The solo lanes were coming in as such a strong reinforcement. Anda and, Brandini and FlyQuest sneaking on the back, and FlyQuest just did not have a way out. These champions are not fast, they're not mobile, and while they do have the Scuttler to go forward, it doesn't get them anywhere else because they're still focused
stole it
on
with the
their
ult?
Herald.
He stole it with his ult.
Oh, just the end. Anda didn't even get to smite it. And look at this. Matt flashed into a bullet time from Misfortune just to try to get the last kill onto Anda. Just a really tricky spot there for FlyQuest, and they were not prepared. This was a play that transitioned all the way from the Dragon.
You're right.
Like, no one had base from Evil Geniuses, so it really caught them by surprise that EG wouldn't reset before going for the Herald.
And that fight just happening before we got the stopwatches up. Man, would those have come in big. 2 on each side that we see available. 3 now.
Oh, geez.
As we see one coming out as well for MASH. They're trying to get themselves the safety. They do expect the fight in 2.5 minutes for Drake. And then we will get what will change the map and our soul for the rest of the game. Remember, EG could tie up FlyQuest in the standings with this. 3-2 versus 2-3. FlyQuest definitely wants to start shooting for the likes of Dignitas up on the top side.
Yeah, and this EG roster has to feel like they've only been together for the last week because they are not playing with Kuma and Svenskar, and rightfully so. So even if their record might not show it, I think we can be easier on their improvement as they've been together for a shorter amount of time than this current FlyQuest team.
It does seem like things are coming together. And they're able to put all those players on paper and put them to work and not just have good names together. It becomes difficult. You look at a team and you're like, they should be awesome. It doesn't always work out like that. It definitely has to be synergy. Stopwatch synergy here for JJ. They all just kind of took a Polaroid of him before they took him down. Who's first? They're going to get all part of the catfish on that one. Everybody getting their hand on the pie, and EG walks away with another kill. It does seem like that shouldn't be happening this early in the game where you're just getting caught out in the jungle and pathing into bad spots.
It was a really good look because it came from over the wall, and the Polaroid is them just like, should we use all, like, who wants to use as few abilities as possible? But you're right. Tom Kench, not the one you expect to be getting caught out in rotation, as he's a champion that can always come out of nowhere with his ultimate if you really needed to be there, as they already had vision and there was nothing to fight for. It's one of the things that a lot of teams get caught up in, is wanting to fight but not having a reason to do so.
Matt's going top by himself. Interesting choice. Well, they will be able to stop a bit of damage here, but if they see Matt, they may be able to activate a fight of 5 fire in mid with the way they're putting powers. Revenge will back. No more push to the top side, so it seems like everybody has something in mind. Matt's going to get a Revenge for an item, and he did want to finish Phage and a few more things. But it works out. Just getting prepared. Matt does the right move. Why would I ever question it?
Well, not this game. You could have questioned him in another game. I got no questions yet. The only one I have is, when are we going to see Triple getting a blue buff? Because he is not having a good time in the mid lane. And Brandini is just straight up not having a good time here, running into the enemy team's base.
Whoa. Ooh. When you think you dodged it, but you actually run into the tail end. One of us. A nice try by Brandini to get out of that one alive. He's not doing too bad for himself. Triforce is finished up here just under 13 or 14 minutes in the game, so he can still deliver the damage. He just couldn't do it in a 3v1 situation. Top should go down, as plates do at the same time.
EG happy to take this dragon here, and the trade is not a very big one there for FlyQuest. That turret top was pretty much done already. See if they go for more here, so because FlyQuest can't really get more, but EG has the Jarvan here as well.
Yeah, we got fights all over the place. Revenge trying to take on 2 towards the top, and a flag and drag in with the Cataclysm. Fish in a barrel as the bullet time's able to drop. You can see Revenge disappointed in that one, but pulling that much pressure, hopefully his team can get something on the other side of the map. Brandini will stop the duty of MASH on the bottom side. We've still yet to see 5 fire and Triple really unleash in a fight here. I'm excited to see what these mid laners to do once we can get round back up against around an objective.
They're on wave clear duty. They're doing their due diligence.
That is true.
We just can't really get to see it because it's like a UI, right? The UI of a good game or a good software. It's only good when you don't notice it, and that's what mid laners that do wave clear are about.
It's true. It's got to be background music. If it ever pops
Jazz.
out,
Good jazz.
Jazz. I like
Playing Orianna is like good jazz.
it is.
You just make it up as you go.
It's nice. Actually, at a time when I would play the music according to the champion, and I think I had some like Castlevania ballroom music when I played Oriana.
Oh,
super intricate, like clockwork music. Ooh, scatter.
I had
You played Graves with Wild West.
not just Graves, Lucian with the theme song, the Crystal Method remix of Lucian, non-stop, 24/7 loop.
Oh, there's a hook coming in. Good dredge line with the anchor toss follow. Fnatic could easily repel that, so they choose not to, but Anda's taking quite a bit of damage. He could be gobbled up on this, but no Devour coming in from Tom Kent. Revenge over the wall. Nice job by him as he teleports into the fight, but cannot follow up with any more damage. FlyQuest, what do you want to push mid lane here with Brandini? Seems like these two are always kind of a pair, hip and hip, and they always come in with a shock and awe when they least expect it on the side of FlyQuest. Brandini oranging out of that one to safety as he wears off the cocoon.
EG's got their ults now. It's only FlyQuest that doesn't have his in Gangplank, so they can still fight with a Shockwave.
Oh, JJ's looking low. He still has great health. Anda goes into stopwatch. Ultimate's not going to hit anybody there as Fnatic just comes down from the Pel as well. Oh, it's not going to take him down. It does. He gets burned down. Nicely done by the side of EG as Brandini is able to come up with a kill as well. 2 kills now for Evil Geniuses as they will get the Rift Herald once again. Secondary Heraldine is picked up, and now they're going to be able to take down more turrets on the map. Triple looking for a few follow-up bits of damage, but there's no follow-up for the kill there, and that's exactly what FlyQuest needed now that they're down 7-2 in kills. Here's the fight again.
And it's Matt charging in. One before, Anda with the follow-up, but the AoE from EG is just way too strong. The second that Miss Fortune starts opening fire, how is anybody supposed to get in here? It's only Syndra and Senna. They can't shoot from an angle and come back. They have to come in through the main door, and EG is just holding it strong.
Seeing if there's enough kind of damage now to consider on the FlyQuest squad. If Revenge isn't opening up with huge hits on his Qs and Fnatic Volatile Spiderling, you know, you have a lot of single target focus. Mash isn't going to be destroying people like Deftly is, you know, like Brandini can with barrels and dissonance from FlyQuest as he moves the ball around. There's a lot of things FlyQuest has to think about in these fights that EG is just making them have to dodge.
Yeah, and FlyQuest is no longer without that Aatrox split push threat that could have been. He's behind the Gangplank, so he's now resorting to joining the Gangplank when it comes to these 5v5s, and he's getting outdone every single time. So FlyQuest needs to think of a different way of going about these team fights, or just not going about them at all. You don't even have to fight this dragon. Yes, we're going to have a lineup of Infernals, but clearly the tools are not there, and neither are the items.
Could be a fight right here. You said coming into this game, Crumbs, you were going to be looking at the top lane, seeing if Fnatic and Revenge on Aatrox and Elise would be going after Brandini, who's now 2-1-2. It also seemed like Brandini had that lane push in mind. Pull Anda up, make sure Brandini can still push and get a lot of free backs to come back with his items. Everything's paid off from that early game tempo here from Evil Geniuses. Heraldine being used in mid, and that is going to be the last Rift Herald of the game until we see Baron. 26 seconds on your Infernal Drake, and that's going to be your soul of the map.
Look at what they're doing. They're shoving up top, shoving mid and bottom, all before going for the Infernal. This should give Evil Geniuses perfect position before taking this objective. FlyQuest cannot answer, so they must look for something else to do, and it seems like it's Matt who is in charge of that, securing vision around the Baron instead.
Quick and easy pickup for their first damage upgrade. They'll look to go for 2 more.
Look at the difference between Anda and Fnatic. Oh. Look at his items. He's almost at a completed stone plate, only has a stopwatch. Giant difference there between the junglers. It really hurts Elise when your jungler counterpart is already stacking magic resistance, because you don't have a guy to really burst down. Ideally what happens is the tanks jump in and they haven't gotten this tanky. You can CC them and quickly burst them alongside your carries, but now the Jarvan is about to get unkillable with the stone play, so the Elise now has to find an angle on Miss Fortune. I think that's the play she has to go for. Maybe FlyQuest, but the range and the mobility of Oriana is just too superior to that of MF.
Ooh, that looks bad for Matt. He gets hit up quite quick, drawn back in as well by the chains coming in from Revenge, and they pick up another kill. He's now 1-3-1 on that top side, and FlyQuest needs to do just that.
And
if
a
it's
lot
not
of it.
going to be getting deathly, it's going to be hiding and getting that bushwhack.
Yes, and between MF and Revenge, they're going to be able to do this to a lot more people now that the Black Cleaver is completed from the Aatrox. So I need to see these two guys start looking for picks. The team fights is not the way to win. Remember the game where 100 Thieves beat Team Liquid? It was because Aatrox someday was snowballed against the Gangplank matchup. If he is given the resources, he can take over a game. Revenge has been that player. He just has not been given the attention needed to snowball this matchup to that level.
When he's been given the carries throughout this spring split so far, their first game against CLG, 8-1-4 on Aatrox, and just recently, this week against Liquid, 3-0-2 on the Aurelia. So he loves the aggressive champions, diving in. Whenever the Q can be used over and over, he's on that champion.
And if you love those champions, you hate not
exactly
being given those resources, because you just know what you could have done or what you should be doing right now, and instead are just constantly staring at the barrel of a gun behind Gangplank.
It proves true. Their game, it is Dignitas in that game they lost to, but his Ornn was 1-5-6. You don't scream. Revenge does not scream Ornn.
Riven players don't strike you as Ornn players as well?
No, Riven players grab Ornns by the horn. That's the difference. You control him. You don't know how to control him as you play him.
That's pretty much it. He would love to be playing anything against Ornn rather than the tanks.
Absolutely. Having a pretty good game so far that he's able to kind of keep alive. A lot of pressure in the early game, and trying to put himself into the fights is paid off now with the Black Cleaver in the call field. So cooldown is there for him. The armor shred is there for him, and he can be scary with World Ender on. It's still a bit of a lack of power, though. Not a lot of kills around the board for FlyQuest, and everything has had to come through objectives or farming the lanes. Is it going to be enough once the fight starts, though? MASH getting hit very hard with a barrel from Brandini, and they're going to have to back off immediately from this fight as Baron is tempted, and Evil Geniuses draws FlyQuest into a bad position.
They didn't get Revenge's teleport, though. That was the big thing that was pinged before they started that Baron. Revenge just walked up here, and only getting the flashes out of support in jungle is a worth trade for FlyQuest now that they can stall the game out a little bit longer and have another chance before this Infernal Dragon comes online.
Indeed. It's getting hot here. Barrier for 5 fire as we keep an eye on the Unsealed Spellbook and what he decides to use as a summoner spell. Ori with blue buff this late in the game feels so good. Everything's coming up quick. You can really 3v1 somebody. Not with that amount of mana, so he's going to have to build it up, but the build's getting there as well for him. We'll have to see what he decides to go next, as he does have the Oblivion Orb, but the ability Tome, so maybe something to shred his teammate or opponents.
And there's a real one. He's been given blue buffs to 5 fire at least 3 times this game, so the Orianna has just been having such an easy time against the Syndra, and that's the kind of play that I really respected of a jungler, because the first level of play is thinking, I need blue buffs so that I can get ahead, so I can do my things. But then you realize if your mid laner is not pushing, you can't do those things anyways. So you need to get your blue buff to your mid laner so that he can be freed up, and now you have even more room to work with. It's a symbiotic relationship that is only helped by helping him.
You only know once you do it. Some people just have to see it happen. Executioner's Calling picked up by Brandini. That could rain on Revenge's parade as he tries to get in there. Also the heals that MASH can be throwing out in the fight. Ooh, control on the right side. Matt and Nanda possibly going in. One shows themselves. I like that bit of bait there. If it's the only thing it's Ando, why not move a little closer and taunt him, and then you get hit by a Mat hook. So that window closed for EG to try to pull off something tricky. Fly is now privy to that knowledge, and a third Drake going over to the side of Evil Geniuses to put themselves on Soul Point.
As one window closes, the Nayram opens, always shining into the doors of the LCS or Academy. And many questions have been asked as to why this happens. I have some theories. They're long and winded, but at the end of the day, I think people just want to fight and I think you're right. quick to pull the trigger.
Where are we at? 25 minutes. A few breakpoints and items have been hit. Honestly, as a player, I'm always like, I just bought an item. I want to see how much damage I do now. And it's just a collective thinking of 20 to 25 minutes. And they're like, hey, we had some spike points. Let's see if they'll fight us.
It's like you're showing off your gifts, your new trading cards. Check it out. Look at what it does.
So it's no longer NARAM. It's show and tell.
Oh, yeah.
NA show and tell.
Hey, look at my new stopwatch.
Exactly. They just want to share, man.
Yeah.
It's very, very nice between the teams. 7-3 as we are hitting that 25-minute mark. Nothing went down in show and tell this time. It was just a present and leave. As we have 4 minutes for that Soul Drake. We'll see where the vision goes.
Oh, man, that is good. The show and tell. I'm going to definitely be using that from now on. It might actually work in alt chat to tell your opponents, hey, got a new item for you. Come check it out. And speaking of new items, we have the stone plate completed for Anda, and still no second item completed for Fnatic.
Oh, Brandy.
Look at how easy that is to just team up with a magic damage laner or jungler to take down the Gangplank. He has no resistances. With an Aatrox that does so much damage, we might start to see the fabled Aatrox late against Gangplank starting at 25.
It's like guards in the mid. We're going to have three's a number, or three's a crowd here. As top lane's getting pushed by Deathly. I like this. You do have activation on your movement speed. And if you can see Aatrox bot, you're faster than Mash, as long as he doesn't try and chase you with flash or anything. Good teleport behind, but he pushes the lane, and now Deathly's going to be out. Great control by EG to say, if there's time to wait and they're going to give us this time, we can freely push lanes, which would usually be unsafe.
And there is some time, but I want to see EG be a little bit more aggressive here. I love their play earlier around Baron, where they got the flash out of Fnatic and JJ. I think they can go for it again if they're going to keep Misfortune laning top, having her rotate in and out towards the mid lane. I think it was very successful. It seems like they're happy to just wait for the Infernal and play it safe.
Gotta go fast. Whoa, the ultimate goes down behind him. Brandini wants to try and stay in that for a bit longer, but he doesn't even have that long. Brandini comes up, he goes down as soon as he comes back up. That's going to be difficult. He just went down a bit further in the lane up, and they're still pushing him in when he can feel safe. No wards there on the bot side, so well punished by FlyQuest as they start to try and get aggression on the map here, just sub 30 minutes. Now if they can push the wards forward, they can figure out where Anda wants to be coming from, where FiveFire is going to be, and where Map might engage from, which has been a good priority here for EG.
And they'll need to do that ASAP with the Dragon coming up in a minute 30. Usually a bit too early, but look at this again. FiveFire gets blue buff, so he's going to have control of his lane. This might be exactly what EG needs to secure the first soul. First and only soul, but that's...
Get it. I mean, they could block it. They could get enough Infernals on the side of FlyQuest if they're ready to fight. If you have Aatrox heading in there, it's just like I said before, though, I think it's too single target. You have a Shockwave that's going to be nailing you on top of Brandini's ultimate, on top of a bullet time. If you can dodge all that, or if you had a Soraka to heal you through it, then you're in the fight. Then you're in the fight.
A pick, I think, would be better here. You got 45 seconds, still so much time. I think that EG might be overextending here for something that's not necessarily going to yield them a dragon. I think taking off in combination with Revenge has been working really well. I don't know if EG respects it happening 3 times, but FlyQuest should definitely try it. Just spice it up, go for a different angle, but still with the same parts.
Scuttle's going to be real nice for EG. They have a team that wants to move in position very quickly to get those ultimates into the right spot in the right scenario.
Senna's not here. FlyQuest is fighting a 4v5, so they're just running back. If EG sees this, they'll go for it. Senna just farming minions.
Here comes Mash is coming over, but he doesn't actually have the safety just yet, or does he's going all the way around. They know they can pause the fight enough for Mash to get here. You can see him moving himself a little quicker. And now he's with the team. Damage is over onto that right side, though, as they start to heal each other up. Brandini's on the back of the fight. Cannon Barrage is ready for him.
So much respect from both these teams, and Dragon is at half. I think that Revenge is going.
Keeping an eye on FlyFire's ball. 3-man Shockwave coming in, but if JJ gets knocked up, the Drake could be going to anybody at this point. As the bullet time goes across, that's going to be Soul Drake going over to Evil Geniuses, and they are on fire this game.
Boy, it was so tough for FlyQuest to get it in there. The zone control there between Shockwave and the bullet time was way too much. It was a good look from Revenge on the angle, but he's not going to take the Dragon. He's out there fighting junglers.
They are going to be able to grab the Baron just over 30 minutes. The waves not in their favor just yet. Top wave is already across the river, but they should make quick work of those as we watch this replay.
So Revenge goes in here and he's trying to do something in a 1v3 here, but it's the Gangplank ultimate, Orianna and MF that just dispatch with the FlyQuest carry. Way too tough for them to do anything there. And Revenge is running Ninja Tabis, which sure, you're susceptible, less susceptible to the AD damage, but any lockdown that happens to you is just gonna prevent you from doing anything. You're really relying on getting those autos and healing off.
As they move forward, 2-0-5 for FlyFire.
I think what FlyQuest should have been doing is waiting for Evil Geniuses to go into a side lane and then utilize the Tom Kench ultimate to put a Senna there, slow you down, run you down, and get picks off. The teamfight ship is long gone.
I thought you said teamfight ship.
Yeah,
like, that's a sick word, but then I realized you called it a teamfight ship.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
did I get on that teamfight ship? No, sorry, it sailed.
I thought you were like calling it a quality of teamfight ship.
Get it.
Let's just write a caster dictionary.
Get on the.
It would work.
Split pushing dinghy. Just opened up a spot.
The split pushing dinghy. What are you doing over there? I'm split pushing. That's what they're doing. EG, Brandini, and FlyFire here on the bottom side of the map. Baroned up. They're just going to give him a little bit of help. FlyFire's like, I just wanted that gold from the turret. I'll go back mid with everybody now. That's kind of when your side laner pings you. He's like, please stop coming to the split push. Thank you.
And then you mute ping.
Well, he's already out of pings by that point. Slowly pushing on now mid and bottom inhibitor turrets. Doesn't look like EG will have just what it takes on this wave, but maybe the second one. Brandini's going to call a little bit more down from Revenge and Triple here. Oh, they're going to get 4 members down to the bot side as they wait for the mid wave to come in.
Oh, almost an attempt at using the Tom Kench ultimate there, but it gets canceled at the last minute. They're thinking about it. It's an option to take down Brandini this way. It's just not been done this game.
Mid lane turret could be getting popped on this one. Brandini has used the Cannon Barrage against FlyQuest on the bottom side of the map. As Matt, Anda, and Deathly of EG take down the middle inhibitor turret together, that cannon's going to do the work if they can. Oh boy, that was a double up.
Jeez.
Definitely caught Mash just behind a minion that went down, and that was just about all of his HP.
So think about it like this. If you're going to lose 2 inhibitors no matter what, why not just use the ultimate, take everyone down to the bottom lane, take out Brandini, and maybe you save one, but at least you get a kill in return. I think those kinds of proactive plays are the things that put fear in EG's approach to a Baron power play and might have actually saved you an inhibitor and bought more time in this game. Now it seems like EG is just on checkmate.
I think it's so hard to make that decision because if it goes wrong, then the map is basically gone at that point, right? But you're right. Sometimes you have to pull the trigger and not be afraid of what the result can be. We never know.
Spray and pray.
Spray and pray.
Which had it right all along.
Oh, how right you are. 59.7 to 52.3. This one's kind of all but sealed by Evil Geniuses unless they make a grand mistake on the way to an Elder Drake or next Baron buff. FlyFire, the rest of the team looking good from top to bottom. Only 5 kills have crossed their team.
It'll only be a mistake if FlyQuest can find a way to capitalize on it. Otherwise, I think EG will be happy to tread in dangerous waters.
I like the Spellbinder pickup here for FlyFire. You're getting build up on that throughout an 1800 range area when you or enemies or people are casting spells. So with the team Revenge wanting to queue, Triple throwing out orbs, Mash casting on Senna, a lot of casts are happening, especially in these fights. There's a Shockwave coming out, so you can activate that Spellbinder for a little bit of movement speed and extra AP since 60-second cooldown, but it gets charged up quick.
He hasn't used it yet, but you can see how much damage it will do with the Infernal Soul, with the Luden's Echo, add to the Spellbinder, and that's a Senna that's going to get one shot, and I suspect that she wouldn't be the only one to get 100-0 in that combo.
Yeah.
Here she goes.
This little make it rain. Fire on the edge.
Oh!
That's gone. That's just the dissonance and command move. There's going into the fire. They're going to be able to take him down. Revenge now with the World Ender. Tries to get over the wall, but he gets knocked up. A nice job by Matt there to make sure he had the depth charge going onto the right target. Triple, great shots from the backside. Definitely is just over-tanking this turret, and that turret is heated up, but it doesn't matter for Matt. He's pretty tanky with the shield W on, and now it's EG able to make their way to the Nexus turrets. They have taken FlyQuest down, and they will tie up FlyQuest in the standings at 3-3.
Oh, a deathless game from Deathly there. Really solid performance and a hilarious display of damage from the EG team there.
It really was. Yeah.
She just 2 spells, not even the ultimate.
It seems like he's loving it. 9-1-5 on Misfortune back in week 2 against Guardians. It's something he really enjoys. Well, he played the Senna, I'm sorry. Or no, Mash had the Senna, yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
Got myself confused for a second.
Correct, because it was the LCK that really started to have a crazy priority on the Misfortune compared to the Senna that seemed to appear a lot more in LCS, Academy, and LEC, but clearly Misfortune has something going on for her because she's already won 2 games, and the damage that she provides to a team fight is uncanny. I mean, we should see some post-team fight damage graphs to really start getting a feel for what the heck she's doing.
It's like some of those choices in the meta make me laugh so much because you're like, yeah, she doesn't really have many escapes. You want to play people with maybe some escapes. And now a small speed steroid is enough of an escape. It's not a move block. It's not a dash. It's not
the rotation.
It's not an arcane shift. Right, you can move faster. But you're still going up against orange. You're still going up against things that are going to dive you from very far away. But everybody's with, nah, Misfortune. That's great.
When push comes
I'll never get it.
Damage will always do the job. If Zed did more damage, he'd be meta right now. It's all about damage.
Very true. We'll see who can do more damage next game as well. We've got one more Academy match coming up. It's TLA versus Golden Guardians Academy. Don't go anywhere. Brandini comes around the backside. They are going to be able to get it. There's the kills going on to both sides. As First Blood goes over to Mash, but Anda answers back. Ooh, that looks bad for Matt. He gets hit up quite quick.
Still no second item completed for Fnatic.
Oh, Brandini. 3-man shockwave coming in, but if JJ gets knocked up, the Drake could be going to anybody at this point. As the bullet time goes across, that's going to be Soul Drake going over to Evil Geniuses, and they are on fire this game.
Welcome to a special lightning episode of This or That, where we are going to be focusing on some Team Liquid and Golden Guardians here from Monday Night League. I'm Cap, that's Jat, let's do it.
You know what? In terms of Monday Night League, I'm happy we have Monday Night League. Every time on a Monday after LCS, I'd be so hyped on what happened on the weekend. I just want to watch more league, and it wasn't there.
Well, now it's here, and now Tuesday is going to be your Where's My Hype Day?
I actually am excited about Monday Night League. That wasn't fake. Okay. But let's get to the slide for this.
Well, let's see what the slide's got for us.
Yeah.
More on brand, blue or golden glue?
Oh, Golden Glue is way more on brand. He has 7 G's in his name. His name is Grayson Gregory Gilmore, Golden Glue of Golden Guardians.
Yeah.
Blue is like kind of a horse.
What do you mean kind of a horse? Look at his mane, look at his ear, look at his eyeball. Horses have all those things. And if you're talking about being on brand, his name?
Blue.
What color he is?
Blue.
It is the same.
I mean, no, he's actually white. So he's wearing blue.
He has blue hair. That counts.
So my dad always wears blue and my niece calls him Blue Papa. He's not a blue person.
Your niece
He's wearing
knows
blue.
The answer to the question.
He's a white horse wearing blue.
His hair is blue, Jat. Your hair is part of it.
Okay. Is that more on brand than Golden Glue having 7 G's in his name?
Yes, because his name is literally blue.
I vehemently
His
disagree.
name is not G Glue. It's Golden Glue. This is blue, the horse.
GG for short.
He's blue. He's blue.
We're not getting anywhere. I think we need to be.
think a lot of students have just gotten another sense of how to belong and how to create relationships outside of what were the traditional avenues.
And a lot of my students talk about how they feel safe in the esports program, and that's their family, that's their community. And I think the esports gives kids a future that they might otherwise not have.
Man, I wish that had been available when I was in high school.